up, guys? So today we're going to be starting a new series. I thought I'd change it up a little bit. Instead of always doing like vlogs at the gym, I wanted to start a series. This is the first series of the channel. We're going to be doing a series called Chasing Aesthetics. This is going to be episode 1, and pretty much what it's going to consist of is me voicing over workout videos for the split that I'm doing to get my aesthetics, hence the name Chasing Aesthetics. There's also going to be some other type of videos such as like nutrition, what foods I'm eating, and lifestyle as well, the kind of lifestyle I'm living to chase aesthetics, etc. So yeah, to start off with this video, here is me currently doing 35 kg on flat dumbbell bench press, or dumbbell press, as you guys probably like to say it. Yeah, this angle doesn't really favour me because my leg's going crazy over there. This angle makes me seem like I'm not doing full range of motion, but trust me, I'm going as low as I probably should be going. You don't need to go much lower than that. But yeah, pretty much this series is going to consist of me talking about things that I do to chase aesthetics, essentially. And today we're going to be talking about chest and back. I'm currently finishing my Arnold split era. So I've been doing Arnold split for a few months now. And I'm going to go back to push-pull legs now, this following week. So today was my last chest and back day. And I want to show you guys what I've been doing for chest and back to chase aesthetics, because it's honestly been, it's been very good for me. It's been very good for my physique, chest and back, and the way I've been doing it has been very good, and I've been able to minimize the exercises I do while still getting maximal growth, which is what people need to do more. It's they need to stop thinking about, oh, I need to do all these exercises to hit every single muscle, and you need to start doing less exercises. You need to go back to basics, really. Here I'm doing, again, 35 kg. I think I did it for 8 reps. I mean, it's on the screen, but I'm not really watching as I'm talking, so it is what it is. But yeah, pretty much this split has been really treating me well, so I thought I'd make a video on it before I switch back to push-pull legs. Hopefully I'll be able to do a video on legs at some point. I have seen the suggestions. A lot of people have been saying how I haven't done a legs video, but I've done a chest and back video and a shoulders and arms video, and yet no leg video. So I will be doing a leg video at some point when my legs start growing, hopefully soon. But yeah, I think I went down weight on this set. I think it's a back off set. I'm not sure if this is 35 again, but that doesn't look like 35s to me. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I did a back off set in this one before I went to my next exercise. Yeah, so I went down to 27.5, which is still a pretty decent weight. So the reason I do back off sets is because it just helps me feel the muscle and stretch it out at the end, really make it not sore, but you know what I mean, like really make sure I get that last kind of like stretch of it, in a way that I don't have to lift super heavy like I did in my top set when I did 35. I usually do go heavier than 35. I was feeling a bit shit, but we move. But yeah, essentially I just do a back off set just to kind of like kill the muscle at the end, and that is the only reason why. And we're going to move on to the next exercise now. Okay, so next exercise we are doing lat pull downs. Now this is a very questionable option that I always get asked upon when I do it this way, because most people usually do like chest, or like they do the first muscle and then they do the second muscle of the workout. Here you can see my friend making some absolutely gorgeous poses for the camera. God damn, I love that boy so much. But yeah, anyways, continuing. Most people do, like, if you're doing, let's say you're doing pull or push. Let's say you're doing push. People usually do chest first, and then they might do shoulders and then triceps. They do the whole muscle first. Whereas for me, I prefer to do, like when I'm doing chest and back, I prefer to do one exercise of chest, one exercise of back, and then go back and forth. Only because I feel like I get more out of it when I do it that way. So like imagine I do flat dumbbell chest, chest press, which is what I just did, right? And then I would go straight onto incline, I feel like I wouldn't be able to lift as much, or like I wouldn't be able to lift as much, because that's what I used to do. I wouldn't be able to lift as much as if I did lat pull downs in between, because that gives my chest time to rest and really feel recovered before I'm able to push heavyweight again. So that's how I feel. A lot of people say, oh, it kills your pump, or it kills your gains and whatever, but in my opinion, it's not actually detrimental to your gains. I don't think it actually does anything, because I mean, realistically, it's only like 20 minutes in between each one, and it cools you down a little bit, but I mean, it's not like it's killing your gains. At least it's not for me. So yeah, right now I'm doing a superset. I'm doing lat pull down superset with V-bar pull downs as well. I guess you could call them. I don't really know what they're called. I usually do them with a V-bar, but they had this weird handle thing on this gym that I was going at for this workout, and I decided to use it, and it was the best decision. The best decision I've ever made, because that's probably one of the best things that I've ever used. I can't even talk right now. Handles, I guess you could call them. But yeah, I'm just pretty much going through the superset. The only reason I like to do the superset is because obviously the lat pull down targets your mid lats, especially depending on how you do them. But the way I do them, I go a bit like mid grip. I don't like to go too wide, but I also don't like to go too narrow, because it includes too much biceps. And then the superset, where I do the V-bar, I prefer to do it a bit more bent back, because it hits more lower lats, and that's what I like about it, is the fact that I can combine low lat with mid/high lat work, and it just feels so much better doing it together. I never used to do it like that beforehand. Like for example, last year, I only used to do normal lat pulls, and then all the other back exercises I would do would be dumbbell rows, single dumbbell rows bent over, and chest supported barbell rows, and then lat pull downs, and that was literally all I did for back for about a whole year last year. And last year is when I grew most of my size, especially on my back. So that just shows that doing the basics really works. But I thought I'd start changing it up and start using a bit more of a variety of exercises to grow the rest of my back as well, because I've noticed that my rhomboids and my traps were lacking. So yeah. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the first back exercise. We're going to move on to the upper chest now, where I did incline bench press. Now, I know that dumbbell press is a lot better for muscle building, because it requires you to use secondary and even third muscles to maintain the weight where you need it to be. I forgot what they're called. There's a name for it. The equalizer muscles or something like that. Where it's like the muscles that, help the weight stay in position. Whereas for barbell, you don't use them as much as you do in dumbbell, because there's one straight bar instead of two. Personally, the only reason I do barbell most of the time is because I just enjoy it more, and I feel the stretch quite a lot for me personally. I know a lot of people like to use the dumbbells because you don't feel the stretch as much, but for me, I feel the stretch just as much. I went up to 20 kg on each side, so 60 kilograms, which is usually the highest I go on incline. I think the highest I've ever done was 70, but I only did like 6 reps. And I'm not a big fan of going underneath like 8 reps max. The only time I go underneath 8 reps is for deadlifts, and I haven't done those in a long time. Not properly anyways. Sometimes I'll switch to dumbbell whenever I feel like working on dumbbell, because I feel like I'm really weak on incline dumbbell. I usually only go up to about 30 kg max. I have done higher than that for reps, but I'm just not a big fan of dumbbell, and I've never really been a big fan of it. I've never been very strong at it, hence why I do barbell most of the time. And a lot of the time when I'm back at university, I actually do Smith machine, because most of my gym friends do Smith machine. So I joined them, and it's actually really good for the stretch and for muscle building, because I mean, there's the resistance, which just helps you. It's just like when you're doing, like, for example, hack squat, and you use bands to add resistance to the weight so that it's not as hard when you go back down. Yeah. This is, I believe, my last working set, my top set of 60 kg on incline. After this, I went down to 40 just to do a little back offset again. I'm very big on back offsets and drop sets, etc. Drop sets I usually only do on machines with the pins because they're a lot easier to do than taking off weights and putting them on all the time. You can see I'm struggling in this one, so I'm really pushing myself. One thing that you have to do is push yourself, and that's one thing I struggled with for a long time. I was just going through the motions. You can even see my veins in my fucking forehead. But yeah, I finished that, and then I moved on to seated rows. Now, this is probably one of my favorite exercises for back. I religiously did this 3 times a week for a whole 6 months last year, and I genuinely think this is what gave me a girthy back. Before, I used to have a very flat, skinny back, and now my back is a lot more thicker, and I think that is the reason why. I mean, when I'm doing the exercise, it doesn't look very good, but when I'm posing, it looks so good. It's ridiculous. And I think this is one of the main reasons why this exercise blessed me ridiculously. But yeah, I recommend this exercise so much for lat work. It is so good. Here you can see I'll do quite a not very heavy set, as you can tell. I think I did 10 reps, 12 reps maybe. But this workout was very, very rushed, especially towards the end. On these last 2 exercises, I only managed to get 2 sets in, and I'm pretty sure I only did about 6 reps on this last set because I was just so exhausted. I was just so tired because I hadn't gone gym in 5 days, so I wasn't in the routine. But I still went, which is what matters. Yeah, this workout was a little bit rushed, especially towards the end, but I still managed to hit every single part. The only thing I didn't manage to do was my last chest exercise, which is usually a pec fly or some sort of cable fly, which is what I usually do, cable flies. Then I moved on to an exercise that I've been doing very recently. The only reason I've been doing this exercise a lot is because of Alex Eubank. Now, I didn't record the first set, hence why I'm doing the standing shrugs first. But what I'm doing in this one is another superset again, which consists of chest supported shrugs, slightly on a 45/60 degree angle, supersetted with standing shrugs. The only reason I like doing this superset is because the chest supported shrugs hits more lower traps, like the rhomboids, mid traps to low traps. And then the standing shrugs hit more the top traps that come out of beside your neck. So it's a good way to hit both of them at once. Another good way to do it is with T-bar rows, but that was a good slap by Tyler. But they didn't have a T-bar row machine here. I do sometimes do T-bar row instead of this, but I do like this superset a lot. I usually go a bit heavier again. I think the max I've gone up to was 35 kg on this, but right now I'm only doing 25 kg. A lot of people like to do it like a legit T-bar row. I prefer to do it like a shrug again, so not all the way. So there I was explaining what I meant by what I just said. But yeah, I like to do it more like a shrug rather than a row. So put my scapula together. And it just feels better for me personally. Again, doesn't mean it'll work for everyone, but that's what I prefer. And then for the standing, I bent over a little bit just because I feel like if you stand up straight, it's not as efficient as if you're bending over a little bit. I feel like it hits more traps if you bend over slightly on a slight angle. You see what I mean when I do this last set here. But yeah, that's pretty much it, this video. It was a bit of a long one, 15 minutes. So I'm still trying to figure out what kind of styled videos I want to start doing and stuff. What my style is and what I like to work with. But yeah, there you can see I'm a little bit over to the front. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And stay tuned for next week's video. Hopefully it'll be a good one. I'll be back at uni by then, so yeah, see you next week.